So, do you ever feel like life's controlling you, right? Like you don't get have a say in how you feel, for instance. You don't have a say in what you get to do. It's because of all these things that you feel this way. It's because of all this, because of all the traumas, because of what your mother did or your father did, because of life, because of the, all these things. This is the victim behavior that is so prevalent in our society. And man, was I lost in it. I was so lost in it, like just deep darkness in my 20s, like all the addiction and depression and just emotional chaos and just raging at life and blaming life for all the things and just feeling so much anger and like just that and feeling so terrible and lost and just like wondering where is happiness, where's love, I don't feel it. And getting lost in it, drinking and smoking and drugs and whatever, all that shit, you know. And I remember I worked with my father for quite a few years. We built this whole business together, and many millions of dollars a year, and many employees, and all these things. And but in somewhere in the early days, man, I was just toxic, was just emotional wreck, just having so many problems. And he came into my office and slammed his hand on my desk, and he said, "Stop being a victim." And he just looked at me, and then he stormed off, and I was sort of like, "What the fuck, man? I don't even know. I don't even know what you're talking about." Ah, but took me uh, took me a while. I did eventually figure it out what he was talking about and learn how to become empowered over my state of being. And after the journey breaking free from the 3D, learning to find guidance, alignment, following my heart, following my bliss, living my truth. There's all these beautiful concepts, words to help us on this path. And to have that awakening experience that I told you about, which you've probably had some way yourself, right? This is what happens in life when you start to follow your personal destiny, your purpose. Life synchronizes with you. And then the next stage, this level two, is about being empowered. And that's the key to be empowered. And the truth is that you are always choosing how you feel in each moment. And I started following different trails in my life and different books coming in, like Power of Now and Esther Hicks, Law of Attraction, The Secret, right? All these different things and trainings that I went to where I learned about using the mind and creating states and all the different things that show up when you're trying to manifest what you want, and then other shit's showing up, right? The contrast, all these things. Learning to become empowered, realizing that you have a choice. And the first and primarily, it's the choice over yourself, your own state of being. That's the primary thing that we actually have control over in life, our state of being. And lately I've been calling it your neural state, right? There's a lot of talk about your nervous system, learning to calm that nervous system, but it's way more than just the nerves. Our thoughts, our feelings, our vibration, our experience is all attached to that nervous system. This is why Paramahansa Yogananda said, God lives in your spinal column, because that's where we find it through this alignment. So you can see how they start stacking on top of each other as you start living alignment, living your truth, your guidance system. And then becoming empowered, you start to realize if you're connected to the God that you are, and feeling that within yourself, then you become empowered over your state of being. You're not a victim anymore. You can't be a victim to anything. And if you're blaming anything out there for how you feel, you just start to realize it's not true. You're the one creating how you feel. And you get to show up and respond to life how you want to. This is where the authenticity comes in and alignment, because you realize every, let's call it false thought, right? Every thought that's not resonant with your truth, with higher truth, with your guidance system is going to feel terrible. Every time you feel bad, like emotionally, mentally, energetically, it's because you're having thoughts. You're believing things that aren't true to you. It's the simple truth. You are always choosing how you feel. As soon as you start tuning into that, this is very empowering. You can first be like, I don't know, you can take this different ways, but you realize this makes you the most empowered thing you could do, is to realize you have the power over your own state of being. Nothing in life can make you feel any way, experience any way internally but you. It's your vibration, which is the primary, right? The vibe, the frequencies, which create the thoughts, and the thoughts are attached to that vibe. They create the feelings, or maybe the feeling comes, so you have thoughts about it, right? They're all interrelated. And then you do what you need to do. If you got to go attack something to get rid of it, or you try and get more of something, right? All these ways that we try and solve this neurostate problem that we have, instead of just going straight to the source of it, realizing you can find alignment, you can find coherence. So if we really be connected, be in the heart, be in a coherent state, find our alignment, follow our own truth, follow resonance in our life, see how fucking good that feels. It does. Feel how bad it feels when we're believing shit that's not true. When you're believing things that are not true, you're going to feel terrible. Just watch and see. Tell me if you really can find anything that doesn't align to this truth, that you are always choosing how you feel in every moment. And you'll say, oh, I feel this because of blah, blah, blah out in the world. It's because of your story about what's happening in the world. There might be terrible things happening in the world, and you can feel grief about it without it feeling terrible, without it consuming you and driving you down addictive, depressive, dark pattern things. Part of what we're here to do is to feel it fully. That could be the practice in here. Feel it fully. Find alignment. Feel what's here. Open up to it. We're not trying to resist anything. I'm not telling you to force yourself to have good thoughts when bad shit's happening. I'm just saying how you're experiencing it, what you're feeling, is the result of your thoughts, your energy, your beliefs around it, how you're responding to it. And you have the choice. This is the path of freedom. This is the path that takes you closer to that God mode. To be empowered. We have be connected, be in your alignment, live your truth, be empowered. You can't blame anybody. Stop blaming. If you're blaming, bring it back. Own it up here. Oh, I'm the one creating this. I'm the one creating this feeling. I'm creating this tension with this person. I'm creating this experience. How can I come back to alignment? How can I find something that's really true and resonant right now? This is a practice that'll bypass all that other shit, all the trying to make yourself think certain things and feel things. You can't do that. You gotta find alignment. It's the path. And that'll bring you closer into the next level, level 3. And it's an amazing thing to realize that you are empowered. You're free to be you, to be what you are. It's beautiful. And even if that is, if you want to go and blame and do all these other things or whatever, you want to choose any state to be in, you're free to be that. And I won't judge you. I might wish you would do other things. Maybe that's a judgment. I don't know. But here we are to free ourselves. The goal and the path is to find more authentically connection to you. And the more that you live into that, the more that you will care less what others are doing. And then there's other deeper teachings about how everything in our life is a mirror and reflections of what we judge or what we need or what we could be, what we lost. There's these different mirrors that life is. But it's so much easier when you learn to realize that you're empowered over your state of being and you can create what you want. You can be what you want right here, right now. None of those patterns, none of those stories, none of those experiences, none of that really has control over you or makes you experience life a certain way. It's only you. Certain brainwave states. It's you. It's all these things. Your nervous system, your addictions. It's you. You're all choosing it. You're choosing these different programs and frequencies, states of being that you've been taken on in your life, these programs. But you can be free of that. You're greater than that. You're prior to that. You are the God, the source, the consciousness, the essence that's prior, the I am to all of that. You get to choose it. This is a beautiful level. And like I said before, they're all like in a spiral. So you might come close, you might come into the state of love, and then you drop back down into your patterns and the victimization and the blame. And then you become and see, oh yeah, I'm actually empowered. And so people show up, maybe like me, to remind you who you are, or a book or a song, the things that come and like, hey, remember who you are. You're powerful. You are so freaking amazing. You've just forgotten that you are. You've forgotten your God. Come back to that. It's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful to be what you are. I wish you so many blessings. Stay tuned for level 3.